contest set for one fall is for the WWE Championship.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Welcome to round 2 of Around the Turnbuckle. I'm the Big Alboski. That is Professor Keith. We're back again, and joining us, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, is Wildlife Tarzan Duran. What's up, man?
What is up, dudes?
How's it going, sir?
How you doing?
Doing good, doing good. I'm backstage at GCW right now. While they're doing the...
Well, I was looking at some of the places that you either have wrestled or you still wrestle. GCW is one of them. You got Reality of Wrestling, Grind Time Wrestling, East Coast Professional Wrestling. We've also seen you in Outbreak a few times. I mean, you're all over the place, man.
Busy man.
Yeah, I try to be. Yeah, like right now I'm doing stuff with Major League Wrestling, but it's underneath the hood, working as the fucking Azteca gimmick. So that's pretty sweet. You know, we'll see how things go. So like right now, it's like I've been getting my foot in the door at a lot of places, but I'm still waiting for that like certain push with a lot, you know.
So let's talk about the beginning, man. What made you fall in love with wrestling in the first place? How did you get involved with wrestling? I mean, what did it happen for you when you were a kid, or like, and where did you get training?
Yeah, well, like, I mean, I guess I started doing like backyard when I was like 14, and my parents realized that, well, my grandparents realized that I'm not going to stop doing it. So at 16, they put me in a wrestling school over at John Rambo's House of Pain in Hagerstown, Maryland. So I got my like start over there, and yeah, been doing it ever since.
We got comments flying in. Round 2, let's go. Big Chris Vant, thanks for hanging with us. Big Dave still here, Keith. Ready for round 2. Can't wait to learn more about Wildlife of Tarzan. All right, so who trained you, man? Where did you seek out training? You are, correct me if I'm wrong, you are originally from Jersey.
Yes. So I guess my grandparents wanted to get rid of me, so they sent me all the way out to Hagerstown, Maryland. And I got my start off at the House of Pain over by, training with John Rambo. So it was pretty cool. It was a good time. I would just like go over there and I'd like sleep in the ring at times. So she was pretty neat.
Paying your dues.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I
So
still am paying.
What year are we talking, man? How long you been doing this?
Professionally since 2006.
Okay.
Like 15 years.
Yeah, about that. I don't know, maybe a little more. 2006. Yeah, it was a minute ago.
It feels like it, right?
Yeah, man, I've been doing this stuff forever, it feels. But no, it's cool, you know, I enjoy it. I'm having a good time, and you know, that's what it's about. It's about going out and having fun. So
who are some of your, like, you feel are some of your best opponents, guys that you had real good chemistry with?
I mean, a lot of guys. I mean, you know, like footwork and stuff is very important to me. So, you know, like, you know, guys like even like Shane Swerve Strickland, you know, he's doing awesome right now. You know, working with him, like training with him at GXW. Yeah, GXW over in Richmond, Virginia was awesome. You know, working with Cedric Alexander was cool back in North Carolina. Did some cool shit with him. Yeah, I mean, like just recently, I did some cool stuff under the Azteca gimmick for Major League Wrestling with Matt Cross, and that's why they like me over there. It's not a contract, but it's something that's foot in the door. So
Absolutely, they've got TV, they've got national TV, they've got a reputation. I mean, like you say, even if that doesn't, in and of itself, become something, it can lead to something.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I mean, I've been doing this professionally since I was 16, so I'm 32 now, and it's like I'm trying, I'm pushing, man. This is like the main thing that I do. Like throughout the week, I usually train somewhere, whether it's with Alpha Junior in Broadheadville, PA, or it's with the Maximos out in New York City. Yeah, I'm always somewhere. I'm always just, trying to create new stuff and just training, just keep my cardio up.
Did you have aspirations or dreams of doing this for a living, like and working for somebody like AEW and or WWE?
I mean, that'd be the main goal. I mean, right now, like with my wrestling schedule, it's hard to have a job and stuff like that. So, or at least like a 9 to 5. I mean, I work a little bit on a lobster boat, so I'll do that every couple weeks. But it's like, I mean, with the way how I train, I'm trying to make it just full-time wrestling. Just trying to make a living full-time wrestling. I mean, that's what I'm best at, so.
I follow you on social media, and you seem to be booked to wrestle every weekend. Is that the case? I mean, you seem to be like every Saturday I see you wrestling. I lost him.
Yeah, we did.
I did lose him. But yeah, Keith, that is the case. Like he's on like every.
Well, from what he's saying, he's basically a full-time wrestler at this point. Like he's just picking up supplemental, piecework, not even shift work or a part-time job. He's just doing piecework where he needs to make a few extra bucks. Otherwise, he's full-time. Either he's wrestling or he's training, which is great. And hopefully we get him back here, and as we get deeper into this, we can start, maybe he can start laying out something for, some of the folks that are around his age. Because, I mean, to be doing it as long as he is, and he's only 32.
Right.
So, I mean, he's coming into his prime at this point.
I mean, my next question to him was going to be like, where did Tarzan come from? Like, what part of Tarzan came from him? How did he develop that? Who are some of his influences? Things like that we normally ask. But we were just getting to know him at first, like we usually do. Just kind of seeing where he started, where he got his start, and now, like I said, guys, whoever's watching this, like I said, he's booked every weekend all over Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and he even said he's been getting booked in a lot of other states as well, in Maryland. So I mean, he doesn't have, I should say he doesn't have a date for Saturday. He doesn't have to worry about a date for Saturday night. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. And that's what you got to do. You got to get reps in there. If you want to get better, the only way you're going to get better is keep doing it. Practice, practice, practice.
And I mean, he was wandering, whatever building he's at, he's backstage at an event right now. So that means he's wrestling tonight.
And I mean, GCW is no slouch. They're an up-and-comer. They're making a lot of waves in a lot of different ways. Good and bad, but they're making waves.
Yeah, so hopefully we get him back, but I was afraid of losing him the more he wandered around, because you could be in a good area in one part of the building, you go to another part of the building. I mean, even in my own house, if I take this laptop and walk downstairs into the kitchen, I'm going to lose, Keith will lose me.
That's why I just sit on top of the modem.
Here
the
he is.
Only way to make it work.
You still with us, man?
Yeah, still here. Sorry about that.
No problem.
That's okay. It happens.
Yeah, some phone issues. I'm trying to figure it out.
All right, man. So tell us about the origin of Tarzan Duran. Where did he come from? Where did you dig him up?
So it kind of comes from, just how I am, just being wild and everything. I mean, my father claims that his name was originally Tarzan, and so being like a son of Tarzan was always the idea. And then I mean, just going to the lake where I normally hang out at. I mean, just people just fucking call me Tarzan because I just do fucking crazy and wild shit. So it kind of just works out. It kind of just stuck with me.
Yeah, and I gotta say, like, I having seen some of your matches in person, you have a unique style. Do you derive that from several different wrestlers? Do you study tape, or like how did you develop that? You've been doing it now for 15 years, so has it kind of been just adding a little bit more each time?
I suppose. I mean, my main thing has always been to just like be real fucking intense. Just go out there and just every little thing I fucking do looks like I'm fucking killing somebody.
Yeah.
After I started wrestling, I didn't really watch wrestling too much because just I didn't want to do what other people were doing. I just wanted to be different. But I mean, nowadays, wrestling constantly evolves. So I got to watch certain things, just see what other people are doing, just get some ideas. And yeah, that's why I love training too. I can see somebody fuck something up, and then boom, I got like a new fucking move. So
So are you of the like never stop learning mindset then?
I mean, yeah, you gotta be. I mean, that's how professional wrestling is. Just like playing a guitar or something. Yeah, you never stop learning. And
Can you play the guitar?
yeah. It's funny because my dad gave me a right-handed guitar. I was learning it very slowly. Eventually, I broke a string. Gave it to him. He never fixed it. And he was like, "Oh, you know what? You're fucking musically illiterate." So a few years back, I ended up just getting a lefty guitar and learning how to play properly. I mean, the whole thing was he didn't know I was a lefty.
Wow.
Is what it is.
Yeah. We're rare left-handers.
Yeah.
So you've been doing it for 15 years. I'm sure you got some cool road stories, do you?
I mean, yeah.
Statute of limitations might not have run out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the ones that I can remember. I was talking with Jordan Oliver fucking not too long ago. And he was like, "Yo, dude, remember that time when I met you and it was you and Coco Beware versus me and so and so?" And I'm like, "Dude, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, bro. I never oh, you're tripping, bro. I don't know what you're talking about." And then like the next time I saw him, he's like, "Oh, look, dude, it popped up on my feed from 5 years ago." He's like, "Look." I'm like, "Oh shit, I did." So I mean, you're forgetting a lot of shit apparently.
Thank God for social media.
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
Because after a while, it all blends together, right? Like, you've got so many matches and so much going on. It's like, it's got to truly be something crazy to stand out, right?
Yeah. And I mean, I try not to really watch my matches back too much and, like, focus on them more. I'm always focusing on like the next thing. So I'm always like trying to think in the future. Trying a couple years back where I basically met some girl called that I had some like robo tripping type stuff, and so I was like robo tripping, and I ended up going to a show totally robo tripping, which is a horrible idea. I mean, this is probably like 8 years ago, maybe. I don't know, it was a long time ago. And I get to the show, and I'm like, my fucking boot on top of the other fucking boot on the wrong foot. I'm just like, all right, you're going to the George South tonight. I'm like, oh, all right, bet. So, George made a call fucking thing, of course. And I'm just telling him, like, yo, man, I got my bodyguard and doing rockstar.
Yeah, he was cutting in and out, Keith.
Yeah.
Chris, I see your Chris. If we get him back, Chris's question is, how do you prepare for a match? Any pregame music or anything to get ready to? I will ask him that question, brother, when and if he comes back. But yeah, it sounds like that Tarzan does have a lot of stories, but obviously he doesn't remember most of it, Keith.
That some would argue that means he did it right.
Right.
Best
I mean,
stories are the
a lot of
ones you can't remember.
right. Like a lot of times, Kevin Nash says that. Right. There were Kevin Nash will say that because he partied with WCW guys when he was there, but he also partied with like the Click when he was in WWF. So he has stories on both sides. But when he starts telling stories, there's only a few choice ones that he really remembers, and then the rest of it is kind of a blur, right?
Because I mean, a lot of it is, especially back in the day, they were doing somas and shit. So I mean, that's just knocking your ass out.
Yeah,
But he's going to talk about that bunkhouse stampede. It's coming. It's coming.
Bunkhouse Stampede. No.
Do you listen to his podcast? His podcast is great because he keeps making it's great. He keeps making fun of the marks because like he's just doing whatever he comes to mind, and he just talks about whatever he wants to talk about with Sean Oliver from Kayfabe Commentaries, and it kind of came out early on that people were getting pissed, like, oh, it's not a straight wrestling podcast. I wanted a straight wrestling podcast. So they just keep making fun of him by saying, like, okay, this week, come dressed as you are. We're doing the Bunkhouse Stampede. It's all Bunkhouse Stampede all the time. And then, of course, they never get to it. And it's just like, yeah, like, let the dude do what the dude wants to do. If you don't like it, don't listen to it. Don't bring people down about. There's a million guys out there that'll just do straight wrestling. So you know what? If you want to listen to that, listen to that. So dude's got more to say than just straight wrestling.
Not wrestling related, but can the Phillies ever find a way to beat the Mets? No. The answer to that is no, and I don't give a damn. Shut your mouth.
Mets are really good this year, though.
So what? Yeah, okay. Let's see if they win the World Series. That's all I got.
Oh no, they won't. Because they have to get past the Yankees to do that.
Right? They do this. They do this every few years.
They're not getting past the Yankees.
Even the Yankees. Yeah, there's other teams in the National League that are better than them.
Maybe.
Big Al, we'll miss you on the 27th. Back to the kitchen. Yeah. Mike, did you see JT Cage's promo earlier where he was sitting there having a chat with the hat guy and Autumn Breeze? He had Autumn Breeze's title, and Autumn Breeze tracked him down and had Roadblock up there for backup. Did you see that? I urge you to check it out. It's very entertaining. We lost our guest, Tarzan Duran. We did have a bit of a conversation with him, but I hope he comes back. If he doesn't come back, we're going to give him maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And he is busy, though. Like, I wish he told me, Keith, honestly, if he told me that he was booked tonight wrestling for GCW, we would have rescheduled it. It would have been no big deal. So if you're watching this, Tarzan Duran, and you want to reschedule it with us, I have no problem with that, man. Because
we get it. You're booked. You're busy. God bless you. That's what it's all about. We don't get mad at anybody for being booked. Being booked, having a family thing, whatever. Life happens.
Just in case he doesn't come back, Professor, I am going to run down the upcoming schedule for Around the Turnbuckle.
Okay.
So, today was Mikey Raw and Tarzan Duran. Next week on the 21st, I am on vacation. There is no show. We will not have a show next Sunday at all. But on the 28th of August, which is the day after Keith goes down to Quakertown to see some 3WA action, we are going to be talking to JT Cage and we have had him on before many times, as all of you know. But this time it's going to be real. It's going to be personal. We're going to get to know the man. Okay? We're not going to have the ruiner of it all. We're going to have JT Cage, the real person. And so that should be interesting. It should be a very interesting conversation about how he feels about all this personally and this roller coaster ride he's been on.
I'm very excited for that one because obviously, you and I have gotten to know him very well. We're usually on screen here, and of course, the professor's got to give him shit and hate him and all that stuff, but he's the guy that made the commentary thing possible for me. He made my dream come true, and I love the disagreeable bastard. I do.
Yeah, so I can't wait to get to know him personally. You and I do, but I can't wait for the fans to get to know where his heart is, and you can see the emotion on his face when he talks about the last 3 years of his life have been an amazing roller coaster. So we cannot wait for that interview. That is Sunday the 28th. So the day after Quakertown, Mike Bucciaroni, we will have Around the Turnbuckle, and we will have JT Cage, the actual person, the reality check, basically.
The Ruiner Unmasked.
Then set your damn calendars. September the 4th, SWO's own Big Dust will be right here on Around the Turnbuckle. I cannot wait to have that interview at one of the more diabolical minds in independent wrestling today, Professor. He is a manager extraordinaire, excellent on the mic, charisma out the wazoo, all the good things that you know me hold very dear. Big Al, how is your ring calling go? How awesome is that? Yeah. When I was on my way down to the SWO show, the last SWO show that I went to, I got a text message from Frontier Pro Wrestling asking me to ring announce that night. I was already three quarters of the way on my way to SWO, so I told them, man, I need a little bit more notice, guys. Like They literally asked me the day of the event, maybe a couple hours beforehand, and because they know I live pretty close. So thank you, Frontier Pro Wrestling, and everybody involved there for even inviting me to that show. And I hope to come to a show soon. And if you need a ring announcer, I'll be more than glad to do that. Can't wait for the Cage interview. I really don't hate him as much as I let in. We know.
Yeah.
We know. And then on September 11th, that's right, 9/11, we have manager, referee, fellow broadcast colleague of Keith and I's, Craig Pendergast, who reached out to me. And let me tell you something. If Craig's watching this, I want to tell you something, Craig. I appreciate you to the max, man, because ever since you made contact with me, you've been sharing all the Around the Turnbuckle stuff. You've been sharing all the schedules, the links, all the stuff that we put out. So I appreciate you that big time, man, because that's what wrestling should be about. We should all be, sharing each other's stuff and promoting each other. And that's what Keith and I try to do on this show. We try to promote, the wrestlers that we have on here. We try to promote the promotions that they wrestle for. We try to promote, whatever you got going on. So Craig, thank you. If you're watching this, thank you for all the sharing you've been doing, man. And we can't wait to sit down and talk to you. I'm sure you got 1,000,001 stories. You were a referee, you were a ring announcer, you were a broadcaster, you were a manager. Currently right now is a manager right now. So he's been in the wrestling business over 20 years. What a mind to pick, Professor, for you and I, because he heard about us through a mutual friend. So he's interested in talking to us. He's also, close friends with Big Dust, so he's going to be watching that interview when Big Dust is on. And then the following week, we have Craig here. We can't wait for that one. It's going to be an interesting one. So that's the schedule right now. If you guys are watching this and you're a wrestler or a promoter or a referee or anybody involved in the wrestling business, broadcaster, whatever, reach out to us if you want to be on. If you want to be on the show, Mike's asking me, is there any chance of getting J-Cat on the show? Yeah, I've actually already talked to J-Cat. We haven't nailed down a date yet, but I did actually have a conversation with him. So yeah, J-Cat's on the radar, Mike. Absolutely. I want J-Cat on the show. Absolutely. That's going to be a fun one too, whenever we get him on. But yeah, guys, if you've been on here before, and you want to come back on and, we'll do a catch-up interview, come on back. We'll be glad to have you. In the meantime, I just got a message from Tarzan saying that it was a phone issue. His phone is all messed up. Those aren't the words he used.
Yeah.
But man, Tarzan, if you can hear me, which I hope you can, you are welcome, dude, to come back and finish where we started, man. We'll start over if you really want. Just let me know when you're available. Good luck tonight in GCW, and stay healthy, stay safe, and we'll talk to you down the road. I'm sure we'll see you down the road in somewhere. I know you wrestle for Frontier, so I might see you there. We might see you in Hamburg for Outbreak. We might see you there, so who knows? But yeah, man, we'll run into you eventually, and we'll get it done. So anybody
we'll get ourselves out there a little more.
Anybody who tuned in specifically for Tarzan, I apologize. He apologizes. He had phone issues. So we started to talk to Tarzan, but we're going to wrap this up, Professor. Do you have any parting gifts?
No, I mean, I just want to thank everybody for hanging out with us. As always, we can't do this without your support. Thank you to fans, the wrestlers, everybody. I appreciate all of you. Like I always say, there is no us without you, and it's been pretty damn fun ride so far.
Yeah, so exactly, and I appreciate you saying that, and I appreciate everybody who tuned in for both Mikey Raw and Tarzan, and everybody who commented, the Chris Vance, the Mike Boucheronias of the world. I just text Tarzan and asked him if he wants to do it some other time. He's like, yeah, man, definitely. So yeah, he's in. We'll get him in eventually, Tarzan Duran. So one thing I can say about Tarzan Duran, if you're a wrestling fan in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, or the surrounding areas, and you happen to see a wrestling event or advertised, chances are the guy's going to be on the card. He is everywhere. He wrestles for Outbreak. He wrestles for ECPW. He wrestles for PPW. He wrestles for Frontier. He's starting to wrestle for Uncle Masty Smashmouth Wrestling up there by Scranton. He has wrestled before for Rob Noxious out in CCW. He's everywhere. I'd love to see him in Quakertown. That'd be fun. I don't know who would be a good match for him, but I don't know. Evan Atlas, maybe? I don't know. I'd love to see him in an SWO ring. Jeff Becker, you have pull. Make that happen. But anyway, yeah, Tarzan's great, and I hope we get to have him on, get the rest of his story. We appreciate everybody hanging out with us for the past 90 minutes. Keith and I are out of here. We'll see you all in 2 weeks, not next week, but in 2 weeks. On August the 28th, Sunday, August the 28th is the next time you'll see Around the Turnbuckle live with JT Cage, unmasked, as Keith said.
Yeah, and if you come out to Quakertown on the 27th, I'll be up there wandering around.
Yep, hang out with the professor on the 27th. Mikey Raw will be in action, and all the stars from 3WA will be in action. And hopefully we crown Hopefully we crown a new 3WA heavyweight champion that night.
I feel like we've got it at this point. I don't think we're going to have those same old problems. I got to think somebody's walking out with the belt this time.
Bring it home, General Kiesel. Bring it home. If you're watching this later, bring it home, General. I salute you. New champ.
I'm going to tell Main Event Michael Mars all about you.
You tell him all you want because General Kiesel deserves it. He has worked hard. He has won all of his matches. General Kiesel has been on the rise. Michael Mars is part-time, comes in whenever he feels like it. No, General Kiesel will be a deserving and defending champion.
Can't take him anywhere, folks.
Vacation time, baby. See you soon. Yes, man. I will see you in South Carolina, man. You enjoy yourself down in Florida, man. And I hope to see you when you come passing through my way in South Carolina. We'll hang out and we'll chill. That's awesome. I can't wait to hang out with you and the family. Well, if that's it, Professor, we're going to wrap this up.
Yeah, I think that's all we had. We got the schedule. We got what's coming up.
Yep.
We implored people to come on here because, yeah, guys, we just want to tell your story. You got something to promote. Come on here and promote your stuff.
So, last thing I'm going to say is that I have started doing my own podcast on Spotify called The Big Alboski Raw. Most recently, I reviewed the A&E biography of Lex Luger. The Professor is going to start his own soon, I hope. And
yeah, I'm planning on it.
So look for that in the coming weeks. Whenever he gets that rolling, I'm going to share it, of course, on all our Around the Turnbuckle channels and all that kind of cool stuff. and
Yeah.
he'll be available on Spotify as well.
Early thoughts is it'll probably be very light on wrestling or not very much about wrestling at all. I want to
Which is
kind of
fine.
do, I want to do kind of some of the other stuff I'm into, but probably first few episodes are going to be just a scattergun of stuff, and we'll just
Whatever
see
comes
what
to your
people,
mind.
yeah, and we'll see what people respond to and what people want
So
to hear
yeah,
more
you can follow and rate me on Spotify. It's under the Big Alboski Raw podcast. You can listen to me on Spotify and the Professor's podcast as soon as it's available. I will share out that, and you can listen to him as well. Obviously, you know, he always has a lot to say about a lot of different subjects. So whatever's on his mind, man, you gotta check him out. We're gonna keep doing what we're doing on Carnage. I hope you guys are enjoying Carnage. We got Rumble at Renegers coming up, Professor. In the next,
we gotta record that this
we're
week.
gonna record
and
that
I'm
this.
not
We're gonna record
sure
that this
what the
week.
release schedule is on that.
Well, I'm assuming they're gonna drop one half on Friday, one half on the following Friday.
That's what I would think.
Leading up to August 27th. So the Professor and I are going to be getting together this week and recording Rumble at Raniger. So if you weren't there live and you didn't see the last man standing match between Demetrius Arion and JT Cage, you definitely want to tune into Carnage, because the Professor and I are going to be calling that, and we can't wait. We can't wait to call that match. It's going to be fun.
See more than just the holy shit spot that JT Cage put all over social media.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody.
All the stuff before that.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight, and we will get Tarzan Duran back. Thank you, Mikey Raw, and all the family for tuning in to his interview earlier, and thank you for everybody that supports us, man. We will see you guys in 2 weeks, and the Professor will see you guys on the 27th in Quakertown.
Mm-hmm.
We're Around the Turnbuckle, and we're out of here.
You think you know me?
Oh, yeah. If you smile.
Calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.